So welcome to a new Instagram Live episode. My guest of today is Namit, and Namit is a very talented actor. And it has been a very busy year for him because he has been playing very dark characters in his latest shows such as Aarya and Mafia. And although I like his performances, I'm really curious who the real Namit is. And I hope that during this interview we get to know him a little bit better. Hi!
Hello,
How are you doing?
I'm very good. I'm very good. And I'm
Nice, I'm feeling.
and I'm very interested. First of all, good evening from Bombay.
Hi from Netherlands.
First of all,
Yeah.
how do I pronounce your name?
Oh, it's a little
I'm
bit
so sorry.
no problem. It is Shirenefe.
Sharenefe.
Yes, it's good.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay.
So I was really waiting for this conversation to happen. But before we start this interview, I would love to ask you the question like, how are you doing? Because we always use that as a greeting, but we don't really listen. So I feel so like, how have you really been lately?
I have been very, very busy. And can I call you Fleur, please?
Of course,
Is
yeah,
that fine?
sure, it's good. It's
Okay.
good. Fleur is good. It's good.
Okay, so I have been good. I have been busy, and it's so sweet of you to say that, that we ask this question to everyone, but
Hmm.
we rarely do we listen to what the person is actually going through. It's very sensitive of you to say to put it out there that people nowadays ask you about yourself, but do
Hmm.
they really listen is a question that we need to ask. And thank you so much for really making it so pointed for this conversation.
No problem, because I really want to know. Because indeed, like sometimes we feel like uncomfortable with listening, and sometimes also with answering that question. So I'm really happy that it's going well for you. And like being busy is like a good thing, but
It,
sometimes
it, it is very good, but it's really things like these and people who are watching and listening to us.
Mhm.
We are all so dependent on technology at the moment,
Yeah.
and that makes it really crazy
Hmm.
for me. I mean, I learn all the time.
Hmm.
Uh, Also, on 19 June when Arya released and 10 July when Mafia released, and then the trailer of Suitable Boy also came out.
Yeah.
Um, it all got very busy, and all of it was from home. You set up your light, you set up your system, you set up your mobile phone, and then do these live sessions, go on Zoom calls, and
Yeah.
you're literally sitting in one place the whole day. And it's pretty tiring, actually, if you come to
Yeah.
think about it, because there's no physical contact as such. You're just talking to people virtually.
Hmm. And then
And
also there's no balance between home and like work. Everything is in one like space.
absolutely. And so,
Yeah.
I mean, really, I am extremely thankful to my wife for putting
Mhm.
up with so much of my work, which is happening in her space and taking a lot of her time as well. Uh, so yeah, this is what I am right now, juggling with
Yeah.
a lot of things, housework and working from home, doing these interviews and also being present in front of people, and
Yeah.
then being present uh, in front of lovely people like you,
Thank you
and
so much. I appreciate it.
saying and wishing good evening
Mhm.
and other things.
Yeah.
So, but overall, it's nice. It's a good time because I have
Mhm.
had these releases.
Yeah. And I also think like this is a really interesting year because every day I learn something or about myself or about the people around me. So that's also like it's been a really moving and interesting year so far. But I hope like everything gets to normal really soon so that everyone is healthy and can live like a normal life. So inside and outside also. But yeah, we have to see. But also now that we're at home, how do you keep yourself entertained besides being like working, but also having time with your own family?
For the last month, I haven't had any time for myself
Mm.
because it's been divided with the work that I'm doing online
Mm-hmm.
and the housework that I do.
Yeah.
But the first month of lockdown, which happened in India in mid-March, was full
Yeah.
of reading and then a lot of music happened. I was collaborating with some musicians and people from my band, and we were coming up with these quarantine covers, and they are up on my profile. You'll
Yeah.
see a lot of that, and people who are listening to us can check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and uh, and then I took up to cooking, and I cook really simple stuff,
What's your
homemade.
favorite?
My favorite is like is dal chawal. It's the dal
Nice.
chawal sabzi, that kind of stuff which
Really
is very
good home.
nourishing.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's very nourishing for the soul.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff which I have learned in the last say 35 days. And
Mm-hmm.
I've been cooking regularly and I enjoy it. I like it. It's not something very expansive. It's not
Mm-hmm.
something very vast and
Soul food.
very, yeah, but it's like soul food. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny because I learned making tarka dal like a month ago, and since then I've been making it almost every day. And my like family is like, you can also eat other things, And I'm like, yeah, but this feels good. So when I'm like tired of it, I will learn something else. So it's really funny to hear that you also were cooking those kind of foods. But yeah, okay, okay. But so now, like, I hope that after like with work and interviews, you will get some time again for yourself, like to not entertain yourself, but have like peace of mind also. But so in your last releases, you have been playing some dark characters. Was it challenging for you, and how did you prepare yourself for those kind of roles?
It's very interesting when people call these characters and these human beings that I've played dark
Mm-hmm.
and villainous.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, human beings are human beings,
Yeah.
and we all have our sides.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this theory which I might change after 5 years, but
That's
this is
normal.
but that's what I really stick to nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
and is the fact that all actors eventually play themselves,
Yeah.
and they play versions of themselves in front of the camera at least.
Mm-hmm.
So I think all of these people that I have been playing have been very opposite to me, but at the same time really part of me. I mean, these dark characters, so to speak. And
Yeah.
I remember having a conversation with one of my directors recently, and I said, uh, they like me in a negative role.
Mm-hmm.
And she immediately turned around and she said, "What do you mean by negative? Or what
Mm-hmm.
do you mean by a positive guy?"
Yeah.
People exist, right? And people exist as not as black and white, but
For sure.
in gray shades, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone has their shades. So that's why I don't think it has been a difficulty for me to find myself
Mm-hmm.
in these so-called negative characters. I
Yeah.
think these are all parts. They're all part of me,
Mm-hmm.
and given the opportunity and given the right opportunity in the right story, I think that side has sort of just come out.
Yeah. Okay, okay. And you also said something about like that you talked about with your director about like playing those kind of characters, and but like did you feel like you would ever be, I don't think that will happen, but were you ever thinking, oh, if I do many characters as this, I will be typecast as like a person that has those kind of characteristics about him more than others?
Hmm. That was a question that did come up in
Mm-hmm.
my head, but I think I'm beyond that stage in my career,
Yeah.
because when people start off, that is something of a worry. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, I think I've been in the industry for 16 years now.
Yeah.
I've done so many films. I've been part of television shows. I've hosted stuff like you,
Mm-hmm.
and I've done a lot, I think. And in
Yeah.
fact, this so-called negative character has actually added value to my skill and my
Mm-hmm.
art.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, people have seen me uh, now when I talk to people and when I interact with people.
Mm-hmm.
People say that you've really diversified yourself.
Yeah.
So that was never a worry for me, actually, that I might be typecast as that guy now.
Yeah.
In fact, people have seen a whole range of characters that I can play.
Yeah.
And that in fact these characters have really added on to this bouquet of things that I present.
Yeah, I think it's also like how you act like in those kind of shows or movies, because like you show that there's also a human side. It's not only like, because like in the past, or that's how I remember when I was younger and watching movies, it was always they are only dark, they are only evil, and you never saw a humanity in them. So I think that's also something that you brought to the table that people could see. Like, okay, like maybe I call it like dark characters, but like you see like a human side. So that is really
Absolutely, absolutely. And I was having a talk with another journalist, and and I was saying it's not like, negative characters with sit with low lighting and look like bad people, right?
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not like that. They are human beings like us, and everyone has these shades.
Yeah,
In the
of course.
past, they have been presented like that,
Mhm.
but now with entertainment coming up and also entertainment coming of age in India, and also
Mhm.
Bollywood looking at many kinds of stories,
Yeah.
we are seeing a very different depiction of human beings.
Mhm.
So you take the example of Arya. These
Mhm.
people are dealing in drugs, right?
Yeah.
Uh, they are sort of the mafia in Rajasthan, but they
Mhm.
are not bad people. The
No.
series starts off with with a daughter who's going to get married,
Mhm.
and they live normal lives. They have
Yeah.
normal concerns,
Their
and that
families,
is
everything. Yeah.
absolutely, they have families, and they get jealous. They have happiness. They feel sadness.
Yeah. All the emotions are there. Just like
Absolutely,
yeah, they are. I don't want to say like normal people, but they are normal people. You wouldn't think like
absolutely.
yeah. So that's also good thing to think about, like for myself, because I always like I don't say character all those people like, oh, he's the good one, he's the bad one. So it's good, really good to know also. But you've also have been working on a suitable boy, which hasn't been released in India yet, but we hope like it happens soon. But in the UK it already did. What was the most challenging uh, part for you, like if you had to compare all those three besides each other?
Interesting. You see, a suitable boy was it's one of those projects that sort of just fell into my lap from the
Mm-hmm.
universe. It's a
Mm-hmm.
big project, right?
Yeah.
It's being directed by Meera Nair, the
Mm-hmm.
legendary Meera Nair. It's part of the bouquet of shows that BBC One is offering
Mm-hmm.
this year. Also part of Netflix in India,
Mm-hmm.
going to release between September and November.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think the
still checking
B,
how I can watch it in the Netherlands, because I'm still like I was yesterday. I was like I want to see it, but I don't know how it will work here. So maybe I have to go to the UK for a weekend and just watch it there and come back. So that can also happen. But
but
sorry,
do you have BBC iPlayer in Amsterdam?
I don't know if we have like the OTT one, but I will check it out today because I wanted to see
Okay,
it. It looks really promising. Yeah.
yeah, it's
But sorry, you were
beautiful
telling
because
about like
yeah, what I was saying is the fact that it's 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 a series made on a book which is
yeah.
legendary, right?
Mhm.
And it's one of those books written by this great legendary writer Vikram Seth.
Mhm.
And this book literally represents what India is, and
Mhm.
it has been that window for so many Westerners to
Mhm.
enter our world, enter our language, and
Mhm.
understand it from a global perspective.
Mhm.
And because it is such a big book, it also came with a huge responsibility to make it uh, in a proper way. And
Yeah.
the character that I am playing in it is Haresh Khanna, is one
Mhm.
of the primary characters. He's one of the suitors. He's one of the men in race to become a suitable boy,
Mhm.
and all of it was big. All of it was sort of huge. When I
Mhm.
think of the set, the actors involved, Meera Nair, the world of Suitable Boy, Vikram Seth, everything that you have read, and sort of it's really overwhelming actually.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what you have to do essentially is land up on set, wear the right clothes, be in your hair and makeup, and deliver the lines and be true to what you are told and be true to that character and this story. And that's what I try to find in everything that I do, be it Aarya or Mafia or Suitable Boy.
Yeah.
And each time the communication obviously changes, but I think the truth of every character and every human being that I play remains the same because
Yeah.
truth is truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're really focused then also. Like, I think like when you're like in your
Absolutely.
character, you don't really come out of it at that moment. Yeah.
Absolutely, because Fleur, it can be really overwhelming thinking about what you are going to do, thinking about how you're going to land up on set and be that character. And there is a layer of artificiality that you might sort of, be stuck with if you're just thinking about uh, of how you're going to be this
Yeah.
person.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is you have to just be
Yeah,
and
because I
not think
also, yeah,
and
oh,
not
that's really
think too
interesting.
much.
That's really interesting because lately I've been thinking about, because I've been interviewing a lot of like talented actors such as you about things like about their craft. And I'm like, there are two different things. Like, for example, I'm not an actor, but I can like read the lines you're reading, but it wouldn't like come off screen sometimes. So I'm always curious, like, how do you change something that you're just reading into like something believable? I think a lot of people think like, I'm going to one acting class and I will become an actor, but like there's so much more to that. So I'm like, how is that possible? I don't know. Like,
It's
I really don't know.
very it's a very beautiful observation, Fleur, because recently this was I think 1 year back when I was doing Mafia, and this was a question that I used to ask myself, being 15 years in the industry and yet not know what does an actor actually do,
Yeah.
because you have the lines which have been given to you.
Mm-hmm.
You have a director who's telling you what to do. So what is it exactly that you are bringing to the project? And
Yeah.
that's exactly what I asked my writer from Mafia, and I take his name, Rohan Ghosh. He's one of the most talented writers in the Bollywood fraternity right now. And he said something beautiful. He said, "You live it for me.
Mm.
You make it come alive, because
Yeah.
otherwise everything is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is just a simple direction that you have to walk from here to here and say this.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to sit there and feel this. But what is that feeling exactly
Mm-hmm.
is something only an actor can bring to the table.
Yeah.
And that's what an actor essentially does. He puts his soul into it.
Yeah.
And that's why
Oh,
they say he becomes that person, and that thing sort of becomes moving at that point of time. And you
yeah.
believe in it. And then you believe in the story. And then you
Yeah.
believe in the world, which
Mm-hmm.
the director is obviously creating for you.
Yeah.
So it works at, I think it's very strange, but it actually works at a cellular level. It
Mm-hmm.
works at a very, very small level, but then sort of, has its glory expanding each
Yeah.
moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, beautiful. Because that's something that has been in my mind. It's not that I think like, oh, actors just read lines, but it was more like, but how can you, like you said, describe like what do they bring really to the table? What is their like? How do you describe their craft? So that's really nice description of it. So thank you for letting me know about that. But also, did you always wanted to become an actor? And if not, like, what was your plan? And if so, like, how did it all start?
I always wanted to become a singer,
Mm-hmm.
and
That
that sort
happened
of
also.
yeah, that
Yeah.
also has happened.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was in college, my college had a pretty active theater scene back then, and I did not get the right indications regarding my music, and I was also very I was stuck, I think. I was also very scared because I come from a musical family.
Mm-hmm.
I was very scared of being judged, uh, of putting my stuff out there and what my family would say. and hence I started acting. I started doing theater. And when I did theater, when I was on stage, I felt so free
Mm.
because my parents or anyone from the family would come and they wouldn't have anything to say about my performance actually.
Yeah.
And they would be
Mm-hmm.
like, they would be pretty encouraging. But whereas music, I think they would have their five things to tell me about.
Yeah.
And and that sort of, made me an actor, and that sort of, opened me as an artist. But very
Mm-hmm.
uh, interestingly, music came back into my life because of theater, because I did musicals, because I
Yeah.
could sing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how music came back.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a strange give and take relationship between music and acting,
Yeah.
and I think that's who I am now.
Mm-hmm. Really beautiful. So also, like, I can understand, like, if like your family lives and breathes like a certain, um, I won't say talent. Like, it's really hard to like do something without really knowing where to start. So
It's
without
it's
having a
it's
blueprint.
yeah, it's like that family business, right?
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
some people who flourish in a family business
Mm-hmm.
because they're okay. They're
Yeah.
okay. They're okay with working under their dad and
Mm-hmm.
their and other family members. But then
Yeah.
there are some who just want to go in the opposite direction. And I
Yeah.
think I was that guy.
And maybe
But
come
very
back later.
and maybe come back later. And that's what
Yeah.
I did. And that's what
Yeah.
theater did for me. I
Yeah.
came back to music later because of theater.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful, also, because you have also done a lot of different roles, like in the 16 years that you have been in the industry. What has been your favorite role and why? Like, what is stuck in your mind? Like, yeah, I don't want to say changed my career, but also changed you, like, more like as an actor.
I think Sumit from Sumit Samhalega. I did this television show called Sumit Samhalega,
Mm-hmm.
which was the official adaptation of Everybody Loves Raymond
Mm-hmm.
in India,
Mm-hmm.
and I enjoyed it thoroughly. I
Yeah.
really liked it. I also identified with that character a lot
Mm-hmm.
uh, because um, because this happened like 5 years back,
Mm-hmm.
and I had just gotten married, and I did not even go for my honeymoon.
Oh, okay.
After two
Mm-hmm.
days, I had to be on the set because we had to finish uh, filming it, and the telecast was obviously due.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, whatever, and it was very interesting because the show is a family show, and whatever was happening at that point of time in my personal life was also sort of happening on set. It was
Yeah.
just the people were different, and there were
Mm-hmm.
different people acting in front of me, man.
So that's really
And
fun.
yeah, it was really funny, and that's why it sort of became the like real imitating the real, and that kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I have really special memories with that show. And that show
Yeah.
really became very huge. People really loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and that character will always be very special to me.
Yeah, beautiful. It also like comes back again to family. So that's really nice to hear. But also, what is the biggest learning you have learned during the years that you were making a name for yourself?
Mm. Have faith in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
God will have faith in you.
Yeah, for sure. And I really believe that. But if I'm really honest, like I say those things a lot to myself, but most of the times I can understand that when like I'm in a good place. But when it's hard or you're struggling, like then it's like sometimes difficult. But did you always had like did you ever think about like I'm going to go for a safer job or like change it because like other reasons, or did this always be like
Fleur, you go for a safer job when you know that job, right? The
yeah.
only thing that I know is
Hmm.
acting.
Yeah.
The only thing I know is to express and to
Hmm.
talk and to
Hmm.
sing, and
Yeah,
that's the only thing that I can
that's
do
your
this
oxygen.
lifetime. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
completely my oxygen, and but more than oxygen, that's the only thing that I
Yeah.
know to do. Put me in an office and put me in a job. I have no idea what to do with
Mhm.
myself.
Yeah, I know.
And
Yeah.
yeah, because I
Yeah.
started acting at such a young age. This must have been like I was 17 when I started off as a production boy. So my introduction to life and my introduction to professional life was just this field. When you only know this, then you only do this. So you are either successful in this or you just keep trying. That's it.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So every interview, I try to mix it up with a couple of games. So are you ready for the first one?
Yes, I am.
So the first one is love to replace. So if you could replace four actors and play their part in a movie, which actors would it be and which movies and why? And it's not like, oh, I want to replace them because like in a negative way, but maybe like because you admire their role or any another reason. So let us know.
Okay. First is I would really like to play Chaplin's role in Limelight.
Mm-hmm.
I really love that film and I really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I really admire Chaplin so much.
Yeah.
And the second part is recently I saw Tom Hanks in this beautiful film called A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, where he plays Mr. Richards, and I really enjoyed that as well. And I don't know, maybe in life someday I'm able to play a part like that and be part of a project and be part of a story which is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed Scarface. And
I don't want to call it a dark character. I get it. Yeah. It's a human being. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's so good, man. He's really so good.
Yeah.
And I would really want to play that kind of a character, that kind of drama which sort of, just comes from the gut, it comes from the gut.
Yeah.
And anything that Robin Williams has done.
Nice. Like every movie.
Oh man, every movie and every performance, I think it's so studied and it's so beautiful and it's so heartfelt. And that man's face and how, what a legend he was, really. And you feel for him, and then he makes you laugh, and then you feel again, and that's the beauty of being who he was as an artist.
Yeah. It's a really interesting choice of like actors and movies you would love to play. Like they're really different, but really interesting. Like the second one is like A+ student, because like the show is based on like a Dutch show, and it's like there's a show, but there's also a movie about it. So I would love to teach you a Dutch phrase. So which English phrase would you love me to translate for you?
Okay. As good as it gets.
As good as it gets. It's like a little bit. It will be a little bit different, like because like the words, als goed als het is. So as good.
As good.
Is als goed.
As goed.
Als het is.
Als het is.
Ja, het is goed zoals het is.
Wow.
So let me try again. Het is.
Say it again.
Het is.
Het is.
Goed.
Goed.
Zoals. Het is.
Het is.
Yeah, nice. I think you should make like a Dutch remake and just come here and do that one. Like the next season should be here. Like I'm already saying it.
That's also one of my favorite films, actually. As good as it gets.
Nice. Yeah.
That's why the phrase.
Please
I really love that phrase.
I can understand that, but please make it happen that you guys like second season. Like it makes sense to come here, right? Like it makes sense. But I would also love you to teach me in Hindi phrase. So which kind of phrase? Don't
Hindi
make it
phrase.
hard.
No, not a hard one at all. So how good are you with Hindi?
So I can understand it, but not like everything, because like we at home we speak like Hindustan, so that's like another. It's like the same, but not the same like directly. So I can understand a lot, but not everything. If that
I take this opportunity to tell you that I have visited Amsterdam,
And my
Okay.
father had visited Amsterdam in 92, 93. In fact, he had come to Holland to perform.
Oh, nice.
Uh, and he has a lot of Suriname friends.
Oh,
And it
interesting.
was for the Suriname community that he had come to do 3 shows. And I had come to Amsterdam in 2010.
Okay, nice.
2010
Yeah.
to perform a play, and it's really one of it's one of my favorite cities and
Ah,
countries, and such beautiful people, and such uh, everyone's so sensitive, and so much beauty in your country, man.
glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. You should also go to Suriname once. Like that, you have a lot of more of us.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm
Uh,
really waiting to visit that side of the world. So
mhm.
anyway, coming back to the
Oh,
phrase, it's a
yeah.
very chalta phirta kind of a phrase, and it's something which I have learned in life. It
Mhm.
was the catchphrase of an advertisement
Mhm.
of a balm,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
of a balm that you put on yourself if you're having any pains anywhere,
Yeah.
okay,
Mhm.
and you put that, and your body becomes fine, and
Mm.
you go. So what it essentially says, so I'll translate it for you in English. It
Mhm.
says, put iodex on,
Mhm.
okay, put the iodex and go for your job, you know,
Okay. Mhm.
get ready to go for your job. So although
Mhm.
you are having this pain, but put it on and get it going in your job. That's what essentially the phrase means.
Okay.
So say iodex maliye.
Iodex Marie, nee Marie,
मलिए
Malie, okay.
या
Aridex Malie,
आयोडेक्स मलिए काम पे चलिए.
काम के चली.
Yeah, that's right, you got that.
Yay!
so
Because like,
next time so
mhm.
next time if someone comes up to you and says, oh man, I'm having such a bad day and I don't want to go out,
Mhm.
and I really don't want to work, you have to tell them iodex maliye काम पे चलिए.
Come tell you. Yeah, nice one. Nice one. Oh, nice. Because I also like, I really want to learn the language, like, because I find it like, although you understand it, I find it important also that I will be able to communicate in that language. So I started a course, but like, I don't know where to start. But I told myself before December, I have to finish my course. But thank you so much for learning me that sentence. It's a really good one. I think I can use it a lot with my sister. I don't think she will like it, but I think I will do that.
you should.
Yeah. So the last game of today is a rapid fire. So I will start a sentence and you have to finish it. Yeah?
Okay. So you
Okay.
will start a sentence and I have to finish.
Yes. Yes.
Got it.
Okay. You can wake me up for.
Can you say that again?
You can wake me up for.
Astrology.
Interesting. Really interesting. Okay. I would love to work with.
Martin Scorsese.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. The biggest misconception about me is.
That I am this really calm and gentle soul.
Oh, okay. 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 I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. If I had to describe the following shows in one sentence, it would be Aarya,
The journey of a woman.
Mafia,
Messy, crazy, bloody, but sides which we all have.
A Suitable Boy,
The journey of finding the difference between true love and real love.
Oh, interesting. That's really interesting. Okay. If I could learn a skill, I would love to learn.
I would love to learn. What is that one thing which drawing.
Okay,
Sketching.
okay.
I'm not good at that.
Yeah. I'm
I'm quite
trying,
bad.
but I cannot also.
I am very bad. I can't draw a line straight, and my handwriting is too bad. Yeah.
You have other skills. You have other skills. That's also really important. The last one is I'm most proud of.
My musical heritage.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, okay. And also, you talked about like astrology. Like, are you already like diving into that, or like, what is what is your whole thing about that?
I have been studying astrology for a very long time, and also thanks to my father-in-law, who is an amazing astrologer. And since the time I started dating my wife, and who was my girlfriend then back then, me and my father-in-law really get along well because of astrology. So I've learned a bit from him, and I keep reading, I keep researching, and it's essentially the sky and what the sky. What is the connection of the sky and this universe that we live in? And I think, and that's why I think it's a deep study. It's a very deep science.
Yeah.
And and the idea is not to get stuck in the predictive part of it, because what tends to happen is the moment you start reading it, you want to know what your future holds for you.
Yeah.
But that's not what astrology is for. Astrology is also a science which at least tends to understand human beings, and
Makes
that's what really interests me, and that's my. I think that's the actor in me trying to understand human beings
on another level.
On another level, and sort of putting a different filter on them.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Also, like a really interesting topic to like bond with your in-law. It's really nice to hear. But also, like, what advice would you have given your younger self? I like when I talked to you, I think like you were really wise, but I'm really interested in what kind of advice you would have given yourself.
To have not lost my temper in times when I could have controlled it, actually.
Same. I'm still learning that, but yeah, I know what you mean about
that.
Mm-hmm.
One can sort of, and the only thing that one needs to do is actually not raise his or her voice.
Yeah.
And I think you can be calmer, yet have that anger and just say what you want to say. But that doesn't happen, right?
Yeah.
When you're really worked up, you just go for it.
Yeah.
You just say those things that you want to say. But you can be measured.
Yeah, same. Like, that's also really beautiful that you say that, because that's something I think it doesn't matter how old you are or young you are, that's something you will always have to work on. And it's like a good thing to do that. Also, like, what are some things a lot of people don't know about you?
That I like running, that I love cycling, that I love to travel. Wherever I go, I try my level best to go by road. I take long drives. Also a fan of road trips. A huge fan of road trips, actually. And if you have been to India ever, you would know next year, please come and we'll meet. We'll meet in person.
I was planning this year, but like unfortunately,
of course,
next year.
I think road travels really make you a better human being, a better person.
Yeah.
And I love the mountains. I love the sea. I love nature. These are things which, and I love life. I just love living it. And I think it's most important. Coming back to what I said earlier, I think all actors need to live life and need to live big lives and constantly learn skills that they don't know. And the skill might be anything. It could be gardening, right? It could be playing chess.
Every little thing.
So every little thing sort of adds to your personality and adds to you as a human being, and will eventually add to you as an artist and also as an actor. And those things will sort of travel into your characters as well. And you will know what to do as different human beings. And that's why I feel that I'm interested in life. I'm interested in history. I love history. I love reading about history.
Yeah.
Because it's essentially man's story, right?
Mm-hmm. For
It's
sure.
again human beings. So
Yeah. So really living life.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
but like taking every second, every like cell, everything, just take it in.
yeah.
And I think like a lot of people, that's unfortunately, like, I know we all have to work, but some people are like, and I get like everyone living in another circumstance, but living to work, like, that is sometimes like they don't like have the opportunity to see like life in another light. So I understand not everyone has that luxury, but like it's really nice if you can do that. Just live life, and also
Like,
for yourself.
like Fleur, for example, this was in January, obviously, when we were shooting for Aarya.
Yeah.
We had this schedule in Rajasthan.
Mhm.
And I live in Bombay, which is in Maharashtra. And Rajasthan is far off. Jaipur is far off where we were shooting.
Yeah.
I decided to take my car because everyone flew to Jaipur. And it's a 1.5 hour flight to Jaipur. And I decided that I have to go by car. I need to make this a road trip.
Yeah.
And
Beautiful.
I took that road trip to Jaipur.
Yeah.
I stopped at small places and just discovered the whole of it.
Yeah.
And also
Beautiful.
came back in my car and
Yeah.
discovered each little thing on the way. That's the kind of person I am.
Beautiful. Really nice. And also, like, I could talk for hours, but I don't want to take your time a lot. But before we end this interview, what is your personal mantra you live by?
Personal mantra to live by. I think we all need to listen to ourselves. And if we close our eyes, I don't think it is a definite mantra, but close your eyes and you will know who you are.
Yeah. Listen to your core.
Listen to your core, and your core is always telling you the truth.
Yeah.
Never lying.
No, for sure. That's so true. Sometimes, like, at the end, you're like, why didn't I listen to myself? But it's really a really nice way of like living. Nice. Thank you so much. So sorry, I took your time longer than
No,
we
no,
were
not at all. In fact, I should be the one apologizing because there were some
no.
technical glitches,
No, it's
and
not
that's
your
why
fault.
it was a stop and start in the beginning, and then we had that little glitch in between. But I would also take this up. Where do you stay in Holland?
In Rotterdam, but I was born in Amsterdam and I'm living in Rotterdam. It's just 1 hour, so but I really like it here. But I hope that I one day I can come for like a little longer to India to really explore the country. So I cannot wait.
Please do come and give my love to Holland. Give my love to Amsterdam.
Thank you. I
Give
will
my
for sure.
love to the tulip gardens, which will be open right now. Am I right? Right?
Yeah, they closed it because like the current
Of
situation.
course.
But
Of course.
I'm not sure if they already opened it. But like I hope they like if everything goes well, everything will open.
And are the gardens called Kokenhof?
A keukenhof.
A Kokenhof. Okay, it's one
Yeah,
of the
and that
gardens, right?
Yeah, and keuken means kitchen. So I don't know
Oh,
why, but yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I haven't been like, to be honest, I think I've just been once in my life, but it's really beautiful.
It's really beautiful, and
Yeah.
everything about Amsterdam, from Anne Frank's diary to her house, to all the masti that happens
Yeah.
in your country, and the food and everything is just really beautiful. And my salam and my love to you and all everyone there, really.
Same to you guys. I cannot wait to like explore and have like the same experience that you had. So thank you so much, and I cannot wait for like the other projects. And if Suitable Boy comes out, if I can find it like on BBC here, I will for sure let you know what I thought about it.
Please do.
I will for sure. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Have
Have a
lovely
great
day.
day. Have a great
Bye
day.
bye. Thank you.
Tara.
Bye.